Burkina Faso is a land of untamed beauty, rich in culture and resources, but a land facing complex challenges. As the sun kisses the Sahel, something intriguing unfolds. Beneath the surface of a peace mission, a more intricate tale takes shape. Join us on this journey as we unveil the enigma of Burkina Faso, where the quest for resources meets the call for peace. Welcome to our channel, where we uncover stories that matter. Today, we have a deeply thought-provoking topic to discuss. It's a matter of great concern for Burkina Faso and its people how Burkina Faso is exposing Western troops. They are here for our resources and not peace mission. Stay tuned as we pull back the curtain on a story that's as complex as it is captivating. Let's dive right in. Before we delve into the heart of the matter, let's take a moment to understand the current situation in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a landlocked country in West Africa with immense potential for various valuable resources, including minerals, oil, and gas. The security landscape in Burkina Faso has witnessed a marked decline over recent years and continues to be characterized by a high degree of instability. The political environment within Burkina Faso remains uncertain in the wake of the military coup that took place on September 30, 2022. It is important to acknowledge the potential for additional coups in the future. If you opt to visit Burkina Faso, it is strongly advised that you exercise vigilance and closely follow updates from local media outlets. On a positive note, both land and air borders reopened on Monday, October 3. Additionally, the curfew, which was previously in place from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., has been lifted. These developments mark a step towards normalization, but should not diminish the need for caution and awareness when considering travel to Burkina Faso. Move on to the resource wealth. Burkina Faso, nestled in West Africa, is endowed with a wealth of natural resources. Among its most prized assets are gold, manganese, and other minerals. The country's substantial mineral reserves have attracted foreign investors and mining companies, making it a hotbed for resource exploration and extraction. Gold, in particular, has become a significant export, contributing substantially to Burkina Faso's economy. The presence of these valuable resources has given rise to questions and concerns regarding the motivations behind Western involvement. Critics argue that the West's interest in Burkina Faso's resources extends beyond mere economic gain. They contend that foreign powers may be driven by a desire to secure and control access to these resources, potentially compromising the country's sovereignty. The competition for Burkina Faso's resources is not limited to Western countries alone. Emerging economies like China have also made significant inroads in the country, further complicating the resource landscape. As these countries vie for access to these valuable commodities, the question remains, is the presence of Western troops truly driven by peacekeeping efforts, or is it, in part, a strategy to safeguard resource interests? The official rationale behind the presence of Western troops in Burkina Faso primarily centers on peacekeeping and maintaining regional stability. These forces often operate under the auspices of international organizations like the United Nations and the African Union. Their stated mission is to combat terrorism, insurgencies, and extremist groups that threaten not only Burkina Faso but the entire Sahel region. Burkina Faso has indeed been grappling with a growing threat from various extremist organizations, with escalating violence and instability. Western governments argue that their involvement is driven by a genuine commitment to assisting the Burkinabe government in combating these security challenges. They assert that their presence is aimed at protecting the population, maintaining order, and fostering a safe environment for development. While these nations argue their mission is noble, the impact on Burkina Faso's people cannot be ignored. Civilian casualties and disruptions to daily life have been reported. The future remains uncertain, and it is essential to scrutinize the true nature of Western involvement and its impact on Burkina Faso's sovereignty. As the situation evolves, maintaining a critical perspective on the intentions behind these deployments is of paramount importance. The critics' perspective on the presence of Western troops in Burkina Faso challenges the official narrative and raises questions about underlying motivations. Many argue that the peacekeeping mission is merely a pretext for resource exploitation, primarily focused on securing access to Burkina Faso's abundant natural resources. Additionally, critics highlight the close ties between multinational corporations, governments, and military operations in resource-rich regions. They suggest that these connections may contribute to a more profound and less altruistic agenda, potentially undermining the sovereignty and self-determination of Burkina Faso. The security situation in Burkina Faso plays a crucial role in the debate surrounding Western troop presence. The country has experienced a significant deterioration in security over the past decade, characterized by escalating violence, terrorism, and insurgent activities. Burkina Faso's security challenges are primarily linked to the presence of extremist groups such as Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, QIM the Islamic State in the Greater Sahara, ISGS, and Jamaat Nasr al-Islam wal Muslimin, JNIM. These groups have carried out numerous attacks, targeting both military and civilian populations. The instability has resulted in a humanitarian crisis, with displacement, food insecurity, and a strained healthcare system. On June 11, 2022, a devastating terrorist assault in Saitenga, within the Seno province, resulted in the tragic loss of more than 100 lives. This grim event highlights the ongoing threat of terrorism in the region. Regrettably, the risk of further attacks remains palpable. Burkina Faso, as well as the broader Sahel region, has witnessed the kidnapping and unfortunate loss of Western nationals. The peril of abduction remains notably high within Burkina Faso, including its capital Ouagadougou, and extends throughout the Sahel region. In 2022 alone, there have been 2 instances of Westerners being abducted. There is also a concerning likelihood of terrorist groups infiltrating Burkina Faso from neighboring Mali and the northern border shared with Niger, with the intent of perpetrating kidnapping incidents, including within Ouagadougou. In response to these security threats, Western governments and their military forces, including France and the United States, have engaged in counter-terrorism operations and peacekeeping efforts. They have provided support to the Burkina government and its military forces, with the aim of stabilizing the country and preventing further violence. However, critics argue that these security challenges may have been exacerbated by resource interests. They contend that competition over resource-rich areas has fueled conflict, raising concerns that Western military involvement, while officially focused on counterterrorism, may also serve to secure resource access and protect economic interests. This complex security situation in Burkina Faso highlights the intertwined nature of peacekeeping, counterterrorism, and resource struggles, making it essential to examine the multifaceted motivations behind Western troop presence. Amidst the pervasive insecurity in Burkina Faso, a notable development is the emergence of over 58,000 patriotic volunteers who have undergone training and mobilization to collaborate with the National Defensive Security Forces, FDZ. Their primary objective is to safeguard lives and property within the nation. Some regional and continental leaders within the ECO, WAS, and African Union have made unfounded claims, characterizing these dedicated volunteers as having malicious intentions. These allegations, though, are widely viewed as a baseless attempt to spread state-sponsored falsehoods. The controversy highlights a broader issue: the relationship between international powers and African nations in combating terrorism. Some argue that true commitment to counterterrorism should embrace and support local initiatives like these volunteers as part of a holistic strategy. This approach could alleviate the over-reliance on external forces and the perpetuation of prolonged conflicts in the region. The presence of Western troops in Burkina Faso has had a profound impact on the nation. While their stated mission is to combat terrorism and establish stability, the reality is more complex. Civilian casualties and disruptions in daily life have been reported, leaving the local population vulnerable. This has created a climate of uncertainty and fear as Burkina Faso struggles to regain its footing in the face of growing insecurity. The Western intervention has raised questions about the country's sovereignty and its ability to address its own security challenges. The impact on Burkina Faso, therefore, encompasses both the immediate consequences of conflict and the broader issues of national autonomy and self-determination. As we wrap up, it's important to ask some critical questions. Are Western nations genuinely committed to peace and stability in Burkina Faso? Or are they primarily interested in securing access to valuable resources? What can be done to ensure that the interests of Burkina Faso's people are protected? The debate surrounding Western troops in Burkina Faso is multifaceted. It's essential to consider all perspectives, including those advocating for genuine peace and those questioning resource motivations. We hope this video has shed light on this complex issue. Thank you for joining us today on our channel. If you found this video informative, please like and share it with others who might be interested. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth explorations of important topics from around the world. See you next time.